What if the key to your true identity was hidden in a crumbling house, waiting for you to unlock it? My name is Brooks Anderson, a 42-year-old banker from Lincoln, Nebraska, whose life was as predictable as a ledger's columns, calm, orderly, but never vibrant. That all changed when my parents died in a car accident, leaving my younger brother Spencer, their cherished Lincoln home, and me, a dilapidated house in a remote corner of Montana. My wife, Ellen, called me weak, a man without the courage to fight for what's fair. She kicked me out, vowing I couldn't return until I proved myself. With a heart heavy with hurt and a set of rusty keys, I drove to Stillwater County, Montana, unaware that this forgotten inheritance would unravel the threads of my past and weave a new future. The road to Coldwater, Montana, wound through endless pine forests and jagged mountains, each mile pulling me further from the familiar streets of Lincoln. I arrived at dusk, the house looming like a ghost in the fading light. Its shingles peeled like old skin, windows gaped like empty eyes, and vines clung to the walls, as if reclaiming it for the earth. Yet, as I stepped onto the gravel path, keys cold in my hand, a strange curiosity stirred. This wasn't just a house, it felt alive, holding secrets I was meant to uncover. Inside, the air was thick with the musty scent of decay. Dust danced in the slivers of light, filtering through a cracked roof. The living room held only a warped table and a brick fireplace choked with ash. My footsteps echoed as I explored a small kitchen, a bedroom with a rusty bed frame, a storage room with rotting crates. But in the hallway, a heavy oak door stopped me. Its surface was carved with intricate images of eagles, suns, and flowing rivers, unlike anything I'd seen in Nebraska's tidy suburbs. I tried every key in the bundle, but none fit. Frustration mixed with intrigue until I noticed a loose panel at the door's base. Prying it open, I crawled into a hidden room, my flashlight revealing a treasure trove, pottery vases with swirling patterns, hides embroidered with vibrant threads, an eagle feather headdress with pristine plumes, and a wooden chest carved with a wolf howling beneath a moon. That my heart raced as I opened the chest. Inside was a leather-bound book, its pages yellowed but intact. The first page bore handwritten words, "To those who carry the blood of the Lakota, preserve and cherish." Below was my grandfather's signature, Joseph Anderson, and the date August 15th, 1947. A jolt ran through me. This wasn't just a house, it was a vault of my family's legacy, a connection to my Lakota roots I'd barely known. Growing up in Lincoln's middle-class neighborhood of identical houses, white walls, red-tiled roofs, manicured lawns, I knew little of my heritage. My parents, William and Mary Anderson, were simple, loving people. My father, an auto mechanic, and my mother, an elementary school teacher, raised Spencer and me to be kind, to yield, to put family first. But they rarely spoke of our Lakota ancestry, only hinting that my great-grandfather was a hunter from the Great Plains, and my grandfather, Joseph, worked on a ranch near the Bighorn Mountains. They wanted us to blend into city life, to avoid the wary glances Native Americans often faced. I didn't blame them, but sometimes, staring at my dark brown eyes and thick black hair in the mirror, I wondered who I truly was. The book changed everything. It wasn't a diary but a chronicle of the Lakota people and my family's place within them. My great-grandfather, Wakantonka, Great Spirit in Lakota, was a warrior who hunted buffalo and led ceremonies under starry skies. When settlers took their lands, forcing the tribe onto reservations, he hid these artifacts to protect them from theft, preserving them for his descendants. My grandfather wrote of resilience, of a people who refused to let their spirit die. As I read, tears fell onto the pages. I'd spent my life as a stranger to my roots, but in this dusty room, I felt called by name, not just Brooks Anderson, the banker, but Brooks, descendant of Wakantonka, bearer of Lakota blood. The artifacts were more than relics, they were worth millions. As my friend Tom, an archaeologist from the University of Montana, confirmed after I called him to see the room. His eyes widened at the headdress, the pottery, the drum. "Brooks, this is a gold mine," he said, voice trembling. "Museums would pay a fortune." The news spread, and soon, temptation arrived in waves. Spencer pulled up in a shiny SUV, his confident smile unchanged. "Brother, I hear you found treasure," he said, eyes calculating. "Sell them, split the money, and you could live like a king. I'll even trade the Lincoln house for this one." His offer shook me. The Lincoln house held memories of our parents, Our childhood. Part of me wanted to agree, to return to my old life. Then Ellen called, her voice soft, almost tender. "Did you really find treasure, Brooks?" she asked. I explained they were a legacy, not for sale, but she laughed. "Be practical. Sell them, pay our debts, buy a new house, travel the world." Her words painted a life I'd once dreamed of, but they clashed with the fire growing inside me. When she arrived in cold water, her beige coat stark against the house's decay, she wrinkled her nose. "You're living like this?" she asked, stepping into the secret room. Her eyes lit up at the artifacts, not with reverence but greed. "These are beautiful, Brooks. I know an auction house in New York. We could make a fortune." "They're not for sale," I said firmly. She stepped closer, her hand on my shoulder. "Sell them, and we can start over. I'll forgive how you let Spencer walk over you, how you disappointed me." Her words cut, but I removed her hand. "I don't need your forgiveness, Ellen. I'm doing what's right. If you can't accept that, we don't belong together." She left, tears in her eyes, predicting I'd regret my choice. A week later, a man from a Chicago museum offered $3 million, promising to display the artifacts with respect. Anger surged. "You think putting them behind glass is respect?" I snapped. "They belong to the Lakota, not a museum." He left his card, but I knew more would come. Each offer tested me, but the artifacts, my grandfather's book, the headdress, the drum, anchored me to a purpose greater than money. I met Samuel Black Elk, a Lakota elder, through Tom. His silver braid and sharp eyes carried the weight of history. In the secret room, he touched the headdress, his fingers trembling. "These are the spirits of your ancestors," he said. "Your grandfather Joseph was a keeper of culture, hiding these to protect our story. He believed someone from his line would find them, and that's you." His words ignited a fire in my heart. I wasn't just a banker. I was a descendant of warriors, tasked with preserving their legacy. With Samuel's guidance, I envisioned a cultural center, not a sterile museum, but a living space for the Lakota to share their language, crafts, and ceremonies. The community embraced me. Rose White Deer, a weaver, taught me the meaning of pattern zigzags for lightning, circles for the sun. Thomas Redhawk, an elder, sang ceremonial songs, his voice a bridge to the past. We restored the house, replacing the roof, repainting walls, and building an outdoor area for ceremonies. My savings funded materials, but the community's hands brought it to life. Not everyone supported me. Spencer contacted a real estate company, trying to sell the house without my consent. Furious, I hired a lawyer to secure full ownership, a small victory that bolstered my resolve. But doubts lingered. Late at night, in the secret room, I wondered if I was worthy. Samuel found me there, lighting sacred tobacco. "You're worried," he said. Waken Tonka faced an army, knowing he couldn't win, yet fought. "Strength is doing what's right, even when you're afraid." He gave me a sweetgrass necklace, its cool beads a reminder I wasn't alone. From then on, when doubt crept in, I touched it, feeling my ancestors' presence. The cultural center opened on a summer morning, drums echoing, sacred tobacco, smoke rising. Samuel led the ceremony, and I stood beside him, wearing a shirt embroidered by Rose. Dozens attended: Lakota, other tribes, curious locals. Holding a microphone, I shared my journey, from Lincoln's quiet streets to Coldwater's wild heart, from a man called weak to one who found strength in his roots. "I used to think strength was money or power," I said, voice trembling. "But it's knowing where you belong and fighting for it." The crowd applauded, and a young girl, eyes bright, gave me a beaded necklace. "Thank you, Mr. Brooks," she said. "Today, I'm proud to be Lakota." Her words were a gift, affirming my purpose. The center thrived. Rose taught weaving, her hands guiding children through patterns that told stories. Thomas shared songs, his voice weaving history into the present. I stumbled through Lakota words, my pronunciations drawing laughs, but each mistake was a step toward belonging. One day, weaving with Rose's students, I tangled the threads, making the kids giggle. My crooked fabric wasn't perfect, but it was Mina's symbol of daring to try. Challenges didn't end. Spencer sued, claiming co-ownership, arguing our parents' will was unclear. The letters shook me, but Samuel's words echoed: "An eagle flies high by using the wind against it." I faced Spencer in a Billings courtroom, his confident smile unchanged but his eyes empty. I testified about the artifacts, the center, and my duty to the Lakota. I'm not doing this for myself, I told the judge, but for my family, my tribe, those who fought for this legacy. Spencer spoke of money, but the judge, an older woman with sharp eyes, ruled in my favor, citing my commitment to the legacy's cultural value. Back in cold water, we celebrated with a bonfire, Lakota songs filling the night. I began writing a book, weaving my grandfather's journal into my story, determined to pass this legacy to future generations. I joined ceremonies, tried traditional hunting, making Thomas laugh until he cried, and felt my life grow vibrant. Each drumbeat, each Lakota word, was a repayment to my ancestors, not with money, but with love. One evening, standing on the porch under a star-filled sky, I touched the sweetgrass necklace and whispered, "Thank you, grandfather, for believing in me." The pine-scented wind carried my words, and I felt him smile. I was no longer the Brooks who yielded to keep the peace. I was Brooks, descendant of Wake and Tonka, protector of a legacy. The quiet river of my life had found its current, flowing with purpose. But my journey isn't over. The center is just a beginning, a place for pride, hope, and connection. There are more stories to tell, more lessons to learn, more children like that young girl to inspire. And I know challenges will come, more offers, more doubts, more wins. To fly against, but I'm ready, not because I'm fearless, but because I've learned to soar. What legacy lies hidden in your own life, waiting to be uncovered? Your roots, your purpose, your strength are out there, maybe in a forgotten place or a quiet moment. Take the first step. Visit a historical site, talk to an elder, or explore your family's story. Like me, you might find that the past isn't a burden but a source of power. Share your journey with your community, preserve what matters, and let your legacy live.